If I can do it, so can you. Left my home to pursue my passion, coming from a town that's unheard in fashion. Chose a career not known for the best reasons. They said, do your engineering and then make decisions. Was always a scholar and never went wrong. It was only fashion where I felt I truly belong. I took my stand against it all, tried for years until I finally got that casting call. Desi families may not understand fashion, I do admit. But if I'm standing here today, it's only because I never quit. If a kid from Jamtara can make it to Paris and win Model of the Year male, how big would you dream if you knew you couldn't fail? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. My name is Narnolia and I come from Jamtara. Yes, the same city that was made infamous by Netflix. I was born and brought up in Jamtara and I lived a very decent life there until I turned 10. That's when I started pestering my parents to put me in a boarding school in New Delhi because I wanted to pursue something bigger. I knew that Jamtara could not offer me what I really wanted to aspire. I wanted to learn guitar. The city did not have enough opportunities for me to do so. After a year of pestering my parents actually put me in a boarding school. And you know, when we are at home, we don't really think about our physical appearances, especially as kids. But the moment I stepped out of my house, the kids around me started making me realize that I was different. I was different because I was not fair and lovely. That was me actually as a kid, of course, thanks to puberty. But as a kid, I was different and I realized that I was different back to back. I was dyslexic. I was nerdy. I was very closed off and I was also very antisocial. When I went to the boarding school, I knew that my ticket to success was only to actually get good grades. I knew that my face card was definitely non-functional. So I started working really hard in academics. I was always an A-lister. While every kid was making fun of me in my school, there was this one girl that always said to everybody that I look really good in pictures. That's where my delusion started. I started thinking that, okay, probably I was a little too photogenic, but maybe, I can, have like an Instagram virtual reality of myself. I, just like every other kid that scores really well in boarding schools, I was also sent to Kota because Indian parents either send you to, pursue doctor or like become a lawyer or become an engineer. I started preparing for my IITs in Kota. If any one of you know Kota well, Kota is one of the places wherein people go for everything except for studying. Harassment, molestation, bullying, drugs, whatnot. All of this is a very common practice in Kota. And for kids that are there to study, they are an easy target for all your seniors and your kids around, all the kids around you. I was an easy target. When I was in Kota, that's when people started, that's when I started realizing that I was actually very different from everyone. Because Kota is a place wherein kids go right after their schools at a very young age, aspiring students thinking they'll be provided with the best facilities, but it's a place where there is no parental supervision. And that's why Kota's atmosphere is really toxic. At that young age, I started feeling, at a young age, you do not really know how to process your emotions. And that was exactly what was happening with me. I was outside of my home since the age of 10. And I had probably conditioned myself in a way to not share anything around, with the people around me or my family. But my mom could feel there was something which was definitely off. Long story short, I did not appear for my examinations because I was always scared, what if I do not get the best university that I wanted to get? And I did not say this to my parents. Eventually, they found out. My father was absolutely furious and he wanted me to take a year drop and prepare for IIT again, which of course was not in my plan because, come on, I had left Kota. I did not appear for the exams because I wanted to get out of that toxic environment. Of course, there was no way that I was going to do that. We did not speak for a week, and eventually we settled that I would, go to a business school. I would pursue finance and marketing, and that's what I did. When I went to my college, that's when I realized how important company is. My friends in my university made sure that I was always comfortable around them. I was always different because I was dyslexic. My friends made sure that I was always comfortable around them. And unlike Kota, unlike the people that were there in Kota, they always wanted me to participate in things, even if I was not sure if I was going to win. My friends made me participate in beauty pageants, which I did, and I ended up winning them. That made me even more delusional, and I started applying for modeling agencies. I got my first modeling agency's contract, and the moment I went to see them, they dropped me. That's when I realized that such a big catfish I was. I had a superpower of catfishing people. The moment I went to see them, they did not like me. And I had realized that there was something which was definitely not right. So I started analyzing my pictures on myself. That's when I realized that the movies have never lied. The films have never lied. If Bunny liked Nana, it was only after she took her glasses off. My journey from Jessie to Jasmine, millennials would know what I'm talking about. My journey from Jessie to Jasmine was because of a chashma. The moment I took them off, I realized that people really liked me. I was signed by one of the biggest agencies in India very soon. But the moment they signed me, they wanted me to gain weight. Well, in India, people are confused between fashion models and weightlifters, bodybuilders. In India, we like mushtande more than fashion model. So my agency wanted me to gain weight, grow a beard, and be more macho. I started doing that. So here's a picture of me when I actually started gaining weight. That was me when I was really skinny in college. Now you know why I was bullied. That was me when I gained weight. And the agency dropped me because I was too unfit for them. It took me a year to actually do this dirty bulking, and this was me after a year. So now my challenge was to lose 20 kilos, which was almost impossible. Losing 20 kilos is definitely an impossible thing to think about. Just when I was super sure that I'm going to be working on my transformation, that's exactly when COVID happened. So I was sent back to my home. My parents were living in Mumbai at that time. I was at home, and my father wanted me to, because I was about to graduate soon, my father wanted me to pursue my MBA. But I was sure that I wanted to give modeling a shot. Just when I thought that I would start on my transformation, COVID happened. And every gym around me was shut. But I had a friend in New Delhi. He owned a gym. And we made a deal that if I relocate myself to New Delhi, he would open the gym for me. I relocated myself to New Delhi. My parents were absolutely furious. The scenario at home was unexplainable. My father did not want to speak with me. And I think by that point, I had already been ashamed so much that it did not really bother me much. I moved out of my home. I moved to New Delhi. And living off my parents' money, it was always a very comfortable life that I lived. I come from a very well-off family, but it was my ego that I had while I left my family in Mumbai that I never took any help from them at that time. When I moved to Delhi, I had 2 years. While everyone in COVID was making Dalgona coffee and dancing on TikTok trends, I was going to the gym twice a day, working out religiously, following a 1600 calorie deficit diet. And I made sure that before everything comes back on track, like the COVID, before the lockdown is over, I wanted to get what I really need. I started working out. I cut every friend that I had cut off from social media, and I was completely focused on what I truly wanted in life. That's when I started reflecting. To cut the chase, I This was actually, I reached after 2 years of complete sincerity and discipline. I reached the actual measurements that my agencies wanted me to be. That's when actually my life changed. In 2021, October, I get a message on Instagram from a random profile saying, "Do you want to be a model?" I never replied to that message, thinking that was a fake profile. After a few days, I get a Zoom link from them asking if I was interested to join the call. I eventually did, thinking that I had nothing to lose because I had been applying for agencies, agents, photographers, stylists, everyone while I was transforming myself in the COVID lockdown. But there was no positive response at that time. So, also to mention, while I was applying for all of these agencies and everything back then, while I was transforming myself, there was no positive response. I was only getting rejections from everywhere. But the only thought that kept me going was that if there were 2 agencies that were interested in signing me back then, it's impossible that I cannot find someone in this world full of billions of people that cannot believe in me or that would not be ready to invest in my career. So that's the thought that kept me going, and I was in a hunt to find that one single person that was ready to believe in me. So once I was in shape in 2021, when I got the message from this profile, I always thought I ended up joining the Zoom call thinking that I have nothing to lose. I realized that was a legit agency. There were 2 people sitting in front of the screen, and I said to them, "Give me 5 minutes and I'll be back," because I was really not prepared. I washed my face, I combed my hair, and I sat in front of them. The moment they saw me, they wanted to sign me. They sent me a 5-year contract, which I was not sure about because I had never seen them in person, and I said I would not sign the contract. A few days later, the same agency sends me screenshots of 5-6 agencies from New York, Paris, Germany, London, Milan, everywhere, and everyone wanting to sign me. Within 4 working days, I got my Schengen visa, which almost sounds like magic. It was almost impossible. They flew me, and the first show that I did was Hermes. My father was really emotional that day, and my family was watching it live. The moment I did my show, my father was in the video call and he could not speak well. He could not speak to me because he was so emotional. When I got my very first check, my father said, "Acha wo engineering nahi kiya." And he said, "I am proud that you actually took a stand for yourself." Yeah, coming to the fun part. How did the agency find my profile on Instagram? So in 2018, I went to Indonesia for a vacation. I was there for 2 months and I made a friend. She was from Paris. We were constantly in touch on Instagram. And in 2021, June, she went to Croatia as a summer holiday because Croatia is a beautiful summer destination in Europe. And she posted a picture there. And I commented, "You look amazing." 6 months later, that agency used the geolocation. They must be searching something, and they used the geolocation. They were looking at Croatia. They went to her picture. They went to the comments. They went to my profile. They saw my pictures, and that's how they reached out to me. This was purely luck. A lot of people say, and I believe it too, that this was definitely in destiny. But I was prepared for it. If I was there at the right time and at the right place, I was prepared for that opportunity to reach me. And the moment I got the opportunity, I was ready to seize it. I would really like to share a story. In 2021, when I was not even modeling, I wanted to be a part of the fashion world. At that time, there was an event. It was a fashion red carpet event happening in Gurgaon, 2021. I wanted to be a part of that event, but I was not invited to it. So there was a photographer friend of mine, and I requested him if I could assist him for the event. And I remember I was standing at the very corner of the room because I was not allowed to sit, and I was just constantly wondering, what does it feel like to be in an event like this? What does it feel like being seated, being invited to such red carpets? And I was visualizing myself thinking, one day I wish that this happens to me. Last month, 3 years later, last month, the same event was organized in Mumbai by the same people, the same team. Everything was same. I was nominated and I was awarded as the Model of the Year. So I truly believe in the power of manifestation. And while I was having all of this going on, I used to write journals, which is going to be, I used to write journals and I used to draw whatever I wanted in life. I wanted to walk runways. Eventually I did. I wanted to be on campaigns. I wanted to be on billboards, storefronts, everywhere. After my first Hermes job, I was in every single store of Hermes around the world. This definitely came true. I wanted to have a models.com profile. Finally, I do have it. I wanted to receive awards. That's the one that I wanted. And I really did. Last month, I won the Model of the Year award. I wanted to be in events talking about my career. This is being checked off today. So, my friends, before I end, I would really like to remind you that the power of manifestation is really real. I was super sure that one day I would achieve what I really wanted to. And here I am today. I would not say that I have achieved a lot yet. I'm still on a journey, but there's definitely, I'm on the direction now. I'm on the path now. So my friends, before I end this, I would like to say, Tollywood has never lied. अगर किसी चीज को दिल से चाहो, तो पूरी कायनात उसे तुमसे मिलाने की कोशिश में लग जाती है. Which means, if you truly want something in life, with all your mind and all your soul, the entire universe conspires to bring it to you. Thank you for listening, everybody. And I would like to remind you, we got this. Thank you so much.